Peace and love, everybody. A lot of people been asking me to get back on live and teach, and people been asking me questions specifically about the new year. So I kind of wanted to do a quick presentation um, and explain some things. Hopefully, it'll help brothers and sisters, learn and grow and see what's really going on with a lot of the symbolism. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show a few of the images from Red Pill Alchemy 2 that's almost finished and it's about to come out. And Supreme Science, it's a couple excerpts. I'm gonna read from that. And then also show a couple things that I put in Red Pill Alchemy Volume 1. So without further to do, let's get into it and let's bust up the science a little bit. So first off, the real new year, should I say, is here. Um, this is the real new year, the spring equinox. And this is connected to a ceremony that we used to do called Aset Fasha, because Aset Aset is the womb, the spiritual womb. And this is why uh Aries or Mars is connected, because the root chakra is red, and Mars is the red planet. Mars. This is why also you see the red fez or the burgundy fez on the heads of the Moors. And this is also why Moses in the Bible dealt with the Red Sea and he saw God in the burning bush, because the element controlling this new year is fire. So this is the let there be light in the beginning of the biblical interpretation in Genesis as well on an esoteric level. When you look at it, it says in the beginning, the earth is the earth signs, right? Was formless and void, and the spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. The void is the air or ether. The earth, of course, is your three earth signs in the zodiac. Um, the waters or the face of the deep is the oceans of the waters, right? And then God said, "Let there be light." And the word there for light is actually a word called Ur in Hebrew, or which means fire. Let's look that up real quick. So, ain't no caps in the boys' raps. So let's pull up the Biblos real quick. Okay. So let's pull up Genesis 1 real quick. Come on. There we go. Okay. God said, "Let there be light." Genesis 1:3. And that 1:3 is also 13, which is M for Mason. But we ain't gonna get too deep. So let's go back. Uh well, we don't wanna do we wanna boom. So we go back here, boom. All right. So now Genesis 1:3. And when we go to the concordance for Genesis 1:3, the word, as you see, or OWR. It's also spelled UR. And this word actually means fire, you know. Illumination, bright, clear daylight, morning, sun, Hebrew or, primitive root, causative, meaning luminous, literary, metaphorically, X breaks, glorious, kindle, set on fire. There we go. All right. So now we can stop this and we can go back to the whiteboard. All right. So this is the fire, and also the new year, okay, is the April showers, right? That leads us into from Mars to Venus, or the May flower, which is Taurus, Abram, which is an anagram for Brahma. So this is why the J people say they have the religion of Abraham, and Abraham is the father of many nations, because when you're dealing with Abram or Abram or Brahma or Osiris or Ptah, you're dealing with the target, the bullseye, or the bull. Okay. And you're dealing with the planet Venus, which is the green. So this is why in Islam you see the Quran is always the color green, because it's actually representative of the planet Venus, which is also Lucifer. And this is what we get from the April showers, the May flowers. Hopefully this making sense to people. Um, but this is why also here is why in the Bible, right, God, quote unquote, was mad at the children of Israel because they still had the calf. Because this is going against the procession. When you deal with astrotheology, it's going backwards, right? So this is Abraham, who came before Moses, who came before Jesus, which is Pisces. This is why Moses' elder was named Nun, where you get the word none from, because Nun in ancient Kemet was the fish deity, which is Pisces. You see, so this is the esoteric science behind it. The water. So this is why everybody that dealt in the New Testament was being baptized by water, and they said that the next baptism would come by fire, which is Aries. Of course, uh, Pisces represents rebirth and the end of a cycle, and Pisces is ruled by the feet. So this is why so much happened with the feet, the anointing of the feet, um, and the stories of Jesus. Somebody washed his feet with their hair and everything else. And Jesus is Jupiter. So this is why Jesus tells Peter, which is Aquarius, or Saturn, which is Satan, get behind me, Satan. And if y'all saw the presentation that I did on Christmas with my brother Shaka and my sister Alicia, this is some of the science that I was breaking down in that. But now going back to Gemini, when you get into Gemini, you dealing with Adam and Eve, or Asar and the Set, or the Bi Bulls. You could go and research this for yourself, but there are different depictions of Aset as a bull and Asar as a bull, the two bulls or the twins, ruled by Mercury, Logos, because in the beginning was the word, and the word there show you how this corresponds. So we gonna share this again. Going back to the Bible, and we're gonna go back to Genesis 1, because when you look here in Genesis 1, it is showing you the beginning, and then it's saying there's a connection here from with John 1, 1 through 5. So now when you get to John 1, it says, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. So now this is why I made sure that I put logos there, because when you go to the Greek transliteration of word, you get logos. You see, and this is important to understand. This is why the ship in the Matrix was called Logos. This is also a correspondence to the deity Tahuti, because Tahuti is the deity that was there in the beginning. Uh-oh, this ain't the one I wanted to share. Let's go back to the other whiteboard. Okay. Okay, where is the other whiteboard? Oh, that's right. I gotta go here. I'm tripping. I gotta go to this whiteboard. Okay. Still learning. I'm still learning. Okay. So now, logos. From Gemini, we go to Cancer. Heru, the replacement of Asar, because this is why the summer solstice is directly across from the winter solstice, which is Death, Asar, Capricorn, the scapegoat, Saturn, or Satan, right? Heru is symbolic of Jesus, the replacement of Asar, the new birth, or the replacement of the death. Jesus came to give you life. It's one of the things they say, right? Kefir, which is the Kemetic name for Cancer or the crab, summer solstice. Um, Interestingly enough, Cancer, and I should have put this here, Cancer is actually ruled, Cancer is the only zodiac sign that's ruled by the moon. It's the only one. Just as Leo, the next sign, is the only one that's ruled by the sun. For those that know, I'm big Leo, big lion energy. You know what I'm saying? But Leo is King Leonidas, and I should have put this too. Um, Sun, and I should have put here dog days of summer and Aslan. Because if y'all seen the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, um, Aslan is the avenging son, or Simba is another one. And let me put that there as well. Simba. Simba is actually the Hindu name for Leo and the Hindu teachings. From Leo, we go, oh, in the dog days of summer, this is the science behind July 4th, or what they call Independence Day, because it begins a conjunction with the sun in Sirius. Sirius is called the dog star. Dog backwards is God, of course, but Sirius is called the dog star. And when you go into uh Leo starts in July, and I should have put a line here to break this down, because let's see, from here in July to up here in November, you dealing with come on, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Right here. Boom. Right. So from here to there, let's not do that one. Here you got Jason. Jason, which is July, August, September, October, November. Jason, Mason, Jason, Mason, MJ, J and M, 23, 2-3. I'm the real 2-3. Okay. But this is the science behind Friday the 13th. In the movie, the killer's name is Jason, because you go from the summer to the death, or right after November, we go into December, which is the winter solstice. But this whole period between the fall equinox to the winter solstice is the death period. The Judas kiss comes in Scorpio. The Mulahara is the root chakra. So this is why you have the harvest moon. And then when you have the harvest moon and you go into this time of year, let's go back and let's look at this. We're going to go back. And now we're going to go and we're going to pull up. Let's see. Wow. I don't know what this was. Peace. Okay. So this is why when we get here, and we looking at the root chakra, we see these colors, red, orange, and yellow. So nature, as we fall beneath earth, because earth is heart, take this H at the beginning of heart and put it at the end, you get earth. When we go beneath Venus, which is Libra, Libra is ruled by Venus, and that's why it's, when you look at the science of Mars and Venus, Libra is directly across from Aries, because Aries is ruled by Mars and Venus rules Libra. But right next to Mars and right after Mars, you also got Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. So this is another one of the sciences of red and green, just like I was talking about the science of red and green being good and evil in the Christmas presentation. But what happens to these green leaves in the fall? They turn yellow, orange, and red because this is the season of death when we go back into when we go back into this and we understand that nature starts to fall down because autumn is a tomb. So also when you look at Mars and Venus, you go from the womb, Aset, to the tomb in the fall, right? This is why 40 days later, you have something called Halloween and they show you orange. So now, this is from Red Pill Alchemy 1. And right here, yeah, boom. So this is why they started calling this guy here Orange for y'all, right? So I'm gonna go. Um, the construct is vital in seeing how Zionists have socially engineered the whole world. They find ways to control both sides no matter what happens. The famous quote from Nathan Mayer Rothschild in 1815. Rothschild made his famous statement, I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls the British money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. The Trump presidency is the most pristine example of this. The masses are under the impression that Trump is really a billionaire with so much success. In all actuality, he has been under Zionist control since the 1990s. The elite now put a businessman in office to bankroll a corporation, it's supposed to say bankrupt, and seize the assets. We must also see how the subliminal mind control has been placed in the midst of this deception. First and foremost, before Trump was elected, he, along with Hillary Clinton, were shown on the cover of Time Emit magazine. Time backwards is Emit. The cover debuted while they were running against each other for the presidency. And this is Trump with his handler, William Ross. Okay. They held a sign together saying the end is near. Communication is now conveyed in Trump being called orange because orange is the color of death. Question, can you explain why orange is the color of death? Sure, orange is the color of death because it symbolizes autumn or a tomb. We see the sun is being judged in the scale of Libra, and consequently, nature leaves the green earth sign of Virgo. The leaves on trees turn from green to orange, red, and yellow and brown. Do you see the trick in this, Neo? These colors are what are called earth tones, but they are also colors that symbolize death stages. In nature on earth, orange, here we go. Orange is the color of death, and this is the meaning of the show titled Orange is the New Black. Inmates in these shows wear orange jumpsuits, correct? The same colors, black and orange, are conveyed in the symbolism of the jack-o'-lantern. The motif here is vital as the satanic calendar was displayed in Supreme Science. The jack-o'-lantern is Jackal's lantern or Jacob's lantern. Halloween is 40 days after the fall equinox because it takes 40 days and 40 nights to feel the full effects of seasons changing. The symbolism is conveyed was on full display in 2017. During this time, we saw Hurricane Harvey destroyed the city of Houston. These storms are being controlled to hit certain cities to help spread around. Okay. And at that time, this is when Harvey Weinstein's story emerged with Hurricane Harvey. And then also the Harvest Festival was a shooting in Las Vegas. Okay. But this is the orange symbolism or the amber alert because these are the ember months: September, November, December, ember, amber, right? And orange is the color of black. Orange is the new black, I'm sorry, because in law, black means death. And then I explain more in here about the fall of auto season. Keep in mind that AU is the abbreviation for gold. AU is the name, is in the name Asar. The season of the AU golden tomb, the sarcophagus, now shows more because Asar has green skin. He was killed by his evil brother and 72 conspirators. So you see, AU's tomb begins in autumn. In this part of the allegory, he is the sun being judged for the fall. We must also see that Har is relative to the Greek hor, as in Horus or horizon. Nature is based on the horoscope or the horoscope. July, August, September, October, November is a horror movie monster. The horoscope is also a horoscope because nature is a womb that is fertile and unfertile, hence a tomb or a womb. We know that the horoscope is in a circle, and hora is defined as a Romanian and Israeli folk dance which is performed in a circle. An example of hora is a circular dance at a wedding celebration in Bulgaria. So this is also very important symbolism because I explained that this allegory, this movie where they were all wearing orange, this was the fifth element, but this was symbolic of displaying the death of JFK because Bruce Willis's character in the movie was named Corbin Dallas. The word Corbin means sacrifice, and JFK was shot in the head in Dallas, Texas, in Dealey Plaza on Elm Street. So that was the Nightmare on Elm Street as well, which was also a horror movie. But um, Corbin Corbin Dallas and this lady who quote unquote saved the world in the movie was symbolic of Jackie O because Jackie O could have saved JFK and she didn't because she was in love with Aristotle Onassis, who she eventually married, and that's how she got the name Jackie O. So it's a real deep motif, but with with understanding the correspondence, this is how they show the occult symbolism in these films. So now back to um, the wheel, and we are going from Leo, the dog days of summer, um, to Virgo, which is the virgin, the maiden, Mercury, the logos again, the word, right? Because we go into another rebirth state or death state when we go into the fall equinox. This is why Jesus had to go to court. And also, I put this here, the Jason, but the plane of truth is Libra and Aries, where we get libraries from Libra and Aries. Okay. Again, 40 days later, we get Halloween after the harvest moon comes, the colors start to change. Then we see Pontius Pilate, which is the mayor, the manger, Jupiter. Jesus is Jupiter as well, right? Because Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter. So what we see, and when we see these so-called allegories or stories in the Bible, we're unaware that we're really looking at a cosmic play. And this was the whole deal with Trump and Biden as well. That's why Get Behind Me, Satan becomes even more powerful when you understand that Trump is an embodiment of Jupiter in this society, because Jupiter is the god of abundance and wealth. And Saturn or Satan is the old man. But you know, the sage I see, the archer. So now if you go back and you look at the Lord of the Rings, you'll understand who the archer really was. He was Sagittarius, you know. And the reason I said sage is because sage is a seer or wise man instead of Sagittarius. But the motto for Sagittarius is I see. See? So they put the science in our face so much. Last thing I want to talk about before I end this presentation is this: the 270 degrees and the 300 degrees. So Aquarius is exactly, or is straight across from Leo, just as Pisces is straight across from Virgo. So this is Jesus, this is Mary, but this is King Leonidas, and this is the 300, because the sun enters Aquarius at 300 degrees, right? And then the 270 degrees is important to understand, because the 270 degrees is Pan. That's why they gave you a character called Peter Pan, but this is the I shall separate the sheep from the goat, or the ram and Aries from the lamb. Jesus in the whole concept of the nativity, seeing the Lamb of God. Um, so this becomes very important to understand, because when we really understand what we're looking at, let's see, this is called Pan. So this is also why, they gave you a character called Peter Pan, but there's also Pan, the ancient god of the wild, or the goat deity. Oh wow, it really pulled up a Pan, even though I clicked right here on Pan. Ancient Greek god of wild. It's still pulling that up. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let me see. Do it that way. There we go. There we go. So now you see why he has ram's horns and he has the goat's body. And he wears capris, because a Capricorn or Capricorn, you see he has capris on. So they always show him with capris on. But that's the concept of Pan. And then when you look at panning of sound, when you pan sound, it's actually 270 degrees. And I actually had this image in Supreme Science, the same exact image. And this is what they mean when they say surround sound and things of that nature. But what's good about this is it shows you the different instruments in the panning of sound, because this is very important, because it's showing you that these red sounds, they affect you in a different way than these green sounds. So I've been saying this for years, but all of a sudden Kanye West is coming out talking about the 808 and the drum and how it's root chakra music and everything else. And I've been telling people for the longest about root chakra music versus heart chakra music, 432 megahertz. Um, but again, I don't want to be here beating a dead horse or being too long on this, but I definitely wanted to do this presentation today, so that brothers and sisters can get the knowledge and learn and grow. Uh, please subscribe to my YouTube, which is let me put it up here. So at Real Young Red on let's see. That me, shout it right there. That me, folk, right there. Bam. So this is my IG, my Twitter, my TikTok, and it's just Young Bread without the real on it for my YouTube. So let's do that. Boom. And y'all dudes that be jacking my science, man, y'all gotta start paying me, man. I'm gonna start busting y'all out. Kevin Wesley, lame man. But um again, peace and love, everybody. I hope it made sense to some. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I get this uploaded. Peace to the fam. Venus, this for you, mom.